G'day, this is the website for the State Government of Victoria, www.vic.gov.au. So if you wanted to find out about things that were going on in the state of Victoria, one would assume that this would be a pretty good source of information. Well, think again. Look at their legal disclaimer. It says, the content of this website is provided for information purposes only. No claim is made as to the accuracy or authenticity of the content of the website. Information, data and advice on this website is provided on the basis that site users undertake responsibility for assessing the relevance and accuracy of its content. The Department of Premier and Cabinet, as owner of the site on behalf of the Victorian Government, makes no representations, either expressed or implied, as to the suitability of anything on this website for any particular purpose. Oh, wow. Makes it, rendering it completely useless then, huh? And then it also goes on to say similar things about any of the links that they provide to any other websites that they have here on this website. Anything they link to is also, they take no responsibility for any of that. But nevertheless, let's follow this link at the top to the Department of Health and whatever it is, Health and Human Services, and we'll get a look at the latest update on the virus numbers. We'll crunch some numbers, the latest media release. So when we look down here, it tells us that in Victoria, 1,487 cases in Victoria have been recorded, and up to date, 18 people have died from the virus in Victoria, allegedly. So that means that 1.2% of Victorians that have allegedly contracted this illness have then gone on to pass away. Now, out of a population of just over 6, well, almost 6.5, we'll just round it down to 6.4 million, that means that 0.00028% of Victorians have allegedly passed away as a result of allegedly contracting this illness. Or we could look at it as 0.023% of Victorians have allegedly contracted this illness. Now, nationwide figures, we have a population here in Australia of almost 25.5 million people. Now let's have a look at some numbers there. Apparently 6,846 people have allegedly contracted this illness, and 93 people have succumbed to the effects of this illness, which gives us a mortality rate nationwide of 1.35% of people who contract this alleged illness have gone on to allegedly pass away as a result. Or you could say that 0.00036 of Australians have died, or allegedly died as a result of this illness. And 0.02% of the population of Australians have allegedly contracted this illness. So if you're a glove-loving, mask-wearing social distancer who thinks the government has done the right thing by shutting all these businesses down and putting people into dire financial stress, let me just show you a little article that I found from a similar time last year. Now, this article was posted by 7news.com.au on July the 11th, it was a Thursday, 2019. And it reads, the title, Flu Deaths in Australia Hit 300 as experts describe flu season as moderately bad. About 300 people have died from the flu already this year, more than double that in all of 2018. But experts believe Australia's moderately bad season has probably hit its peak. The flu season started early this year after a mild one in 2018, leading to significantly higher numbers of influenza cases than usually experienced by this point. Influenza expert Professor Robert Boy believes it will be a moderate flu season and not as severe as in 2017 when 1,163 died. Now remember, this article's talking about the regular old flu, not shut down a country COVID. Anyway, it carries on. The New South Wales Health Director of Communicable Diseases, Vicky Shepherd, also describes this flu season as moderate, saying the unprecedented numbers were due to the early start and followed an unusual amount of activity over summer. Flu season is an unpredictable virus, but we're hoping that we're at the peak, and in the coming weeks we'll start to see a reduction in activity, Dr. Shepherd told reporters in Sydney on Thursday. There have been 135,952 laboratory-confirmed cases of influenza across Australia so far this year, well above the 17,349 average at the same point over the previous 5 years, Federal Health Department data shows. Just a moderate season. So far, 298 deaths associated with influenza have been reported to the National Notifiable Diseases Surveillance System, although that only includes laboratory-confirmed cases. And this article, remember, was posted on the 11th of July 2019. So today is May the 10th, so it's only 11 months ago. We're almost 1 month away from being at the exact same period of time this year as to when this article was written last year. So, a question to all the glove-lovin, mask-wearing social distancers. How come we never bothered shutting down the country? How come we never bothered shutting down the entire world? How come we never ground to a halt the world's economies before, when these numbers are no larger? If at the moment they're only not even half as large as regular flu season numbers, particularly from last year here for Australians. I don't know, you be the judge. Does it make logical sense to grind people's economic and financial stability into the ground? Stop the country and stay indoors and don't touch your face and wear gloves and sanitise your hands like a mad bastard for those numbers? Now, since knocking that video together, I've found some slightly more updated, some slightly adjusted numbers. A total national death rate of 97 and cases of 6,929, which slightly changes the percentages, the mortality rate to 1.39% of those who contract the disease will succumb to it, allegedly. Statistically negligible, so I didn't really need to add this, but I thought I would just for accuracy. And an overall uptake of the illness of 0.000388, which, like I said, is statistically negligible difference to what I offered you before. And while we're here, maybe we should cut these guys a little bit of slack. I mean, I can understand why they'd be so angry. I don't think they're angry at her so much. They're probably just really angry that they have to wear uniforms that make them look like they've peed in their pants. And then people like me come along and make fun of it.
Hey, look everybody, Billy peed his pants.